welcome to our first ever episode of our podcast.
Yay!
Yay! How's that? It's so crazy.
So
It's been a long time coming. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Don't forget, I'm gonna probably say it at the beginning and the end, at least in this one. Like, share, comment, all the things. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. The link in the description will have our email address if you wanted to send any feedback or questions or anything like that. And other than that, I think we're just gonna get into it and just have fun and chat. So I guess we should introduce ourselves.
I guess.
Kind of,
Oh.
that's what we should do.
I guess that's how it works.
Oh, yeah. I guess I will just introduce myself first. So my name is Penny Goker. I was born, raised, and grew up in Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. I have two older sisters. We currently have 3 dogs. I own a home. I work full-time for a telecommunications company here in Canada. I enjoy what I do. It brings me satisfaction. Yeah, and I guess that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I guess I'll talk about my hobbies really quick. I knit, I draw, I do art, I write, all the fun stuff. All right, go.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I am 29 years old from Alberta, Canada. I have 2 sisters, 2 older sisters, and I graduated last summer with my Bachelor of Communications degree, and in September, I am starting grad school to get my master's in intercultural and international communications.
That's so awesome. I'm so excited for you.
Back to school, going back to school.
Yeah, that's not an easy prospect, but I forgot to mention, I think, that I am 38. I had to think. I always forget how old I am. So I left that out of my bio, but yeah, so I'm 38. So you'll notice that we didn't really talk about what our conditions are, any of that. That's going to be things that we get into throughout the podcast. So we do hope you, or through future episodes, we really do hope that you join us and come on this journey with us, because you're going to learn a lot more about us throughout the episodes and what we talk about and the subject matter that we approach. Some of it will be pretty heavy hitting, if I can speak. Some of it will be light and fluffy, but I can assure you, you will learn something and you'll enjoy yourself, because we are just 2 crazy Canadians that just are wanting to change the world. And I think we should really give this story about how we met, because I think that's cool.
I do too. I love the story.
So why don't you, like, I don't know your side of it, like obviously we came from whatever and we met, and like I know how I got involved in it, but I don't know if I know how you got involved. So how did it come out? How did it come to be for you?
Are you talking about the whole show, or just how?
Yeah. So we were on a show together.
We were on a TV show. We're kind of famous. I don't know. I don't know if you know that. We're kind of famous. So I actually, oh man, I actually got an email. Nope, No, no, I didn't. Got a message on social media from the producer of this TV show for CBC, and she had come across my blog, I think, and she wanted to talk to me about possibly being on the show. So we emailed back and forth. I had a Skype interview with her, and then like a month or so later, they invited me to be on the show. So that's kind of how it happened for me.
Oh, that's cool. Mine was different. I actually learned about it from a member of About Face. She had messaged me, or yeah, I think she messaged me first and then sent me an email with some information and said that she thought I would be really great at it and I should reach out and apply.
Oh, cool.
So I did. So I reached out and I don't know why, I was like, yeah, sure. And I reached out and I emailed, I must have been the producer, I'm sure it was. And I just said who I was and what facial condition I had, and I don't know, that's pretty much it. And just like, I heard about this thing that's happening, and if you're still looking for people, you know, be happy to jump in if you need it. If you don't worry about it. No harm, no foul. And I think she emailed me back. And then, yeah, we set up a time to have a Skype conversation. And yeah, and then she invited me. I think and I guess our listeners and our viewers will learn this about me, is I'm probably more different about my facial difference than a lot of people with a facial difference. So I think for me, my perspective was different, which again, I just said that word, but maybe more refreshing than some of the other people. Not saying that that I'm better or worse or wrong or right, mm-hmm. but I am different. I my views and my demeanor and the way that I think about it is unique. So I think that may have helped me. Excuse me. So yeah, so same thing. It's probably a good chunk of time went by, and then she emailed or called. I can't remember. It may have been a call. And we talked about like when I would be available, what day of the week, and all that, travel arrangements. And I didn't have to come from as far. It was in Toronto. I know you came from Calgary, so you had to fly in a plane. Yeah. I took public transit, so it wasn't really anything. I'm like, yeah, I go to Toronto all the time. Yeah. And they were nice. They put us up in a hotel. And I remember it was raining that night. It was December, and it was raining, and it was annoying because I couldn't. My visual issues, and I can't see very well in the dark, and I can't see well when it's raining. So I was like, there's no food. I didn't even bring anything. I had to figure out what I was gonna do to eat, and it was just like this whole thing. And I was kind of mad that I was alone and by myself. Only to learn after.
Oh no.
You were right next door.
I still can. Like, I remember, like, we were talking about it the next day, and we were like, what hotel were you at? Oh, me too. What room were you in? No way. I was like, sorry. Like, what? And we had no idea.
We had no idea. No idea. It was the craziest thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so on the day, I took a cab, I think. It was quite a ways from the hotel.
Yeah, I took a cab too.
Yeah, I took a cab, and I remember you got there before I did, because I remember walking in the door. Still not sure I was in the right place. Yeah. my anxiety. I'm like, am I in the right place? Like, it took me a while to like make sure I was in the right place. I must have walked past like 2 or 3 times. But finally it's like, this gotta be it. It's like some literal hole in the wall.
Yeah.
It's not what you expect for a studio at all.
No.
Yeah, so I walked in, and then there was this, this other lady sitting there, and I didn't know Kelsey at the time, and so it was just some lady sitting there on her phone, and the the PA came out, and he introduced himself, asked me if I wanted water, and it was really the first time I went for like the bougie water. They had Perrier, so I was like, I'll take a Perrier, thank you. And I enjoy it. It was really one of the first times I've ever had it, and I am now very much a fan of Perrier. And so I got the drink, and they handed me a form to sign, the release form, and then I sat down. And I remember looking over at you. Your head was still in your phone. I didn't take offense. I didn't know who you were or whatever. I was like,
I can be anywhere, and I'm just on my phone.
Yeah, like I was shy. I didn't know what the heck, and then so I just sat there all nervous. And then I think I remember our first interaction was when we were getting mic'd. And I think we were getting mic'd before they told us we were together. Right? Am I remembering that correctly?
So, yeah. Because I had no idea.
Yeah, so we had no clue. We were told beforehand, and I don't know if you were told this or not, but I was told beforehand I may be with somebody or I may be alone.
Yeah, I told me that too.
Yeah, so I didn't know. So we were getting mic'd up, and then that's when she came out, the producer or director, whoever it was. Amazingly super sweet person. And she came out and told us that we were doing it together. And then we both looked at each other, we're like, hey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like we still didn't realize, like, I don't think we really formally introduced each other, really.
Nope.
We didn't shake hands. We didn't say, hey, I'm Penny, I'm Kelsey. We didn't do anything. We just got mic'd up and then walked a very short distance into another giant room. And then that was the set for You Can't Ask That. And there's the 2 stools. And they were very particular about where they wanted us. So I was placed on the left, and you were on my right, which I will say worked out really, really great, because if they hadn't done that, I would have had to switch, because I wouldn't have been able to hear you, because I'm deaf in my left ear.
Okay.
So I don't know I can't remember if I told them that or if they knew, but or if the other thing I think of is because my difference is mainly on the left, so when I turn to look at you, you get a good shot or whatever. So yeah, that's how. And then we did the show, and it was, and I'll link, I think I can link it. I'll link below, if you're again watching this on YouTube, I'll link in the description box below the link to CBC Gem. The episode is still available to watch, so I will link that. And if you're outside of Canada, I believe if you have a VPN, then you can just pretend that you're in Canada and watch it. So we would love for that for you. What did you think of the experience?
I thought it was awesome. Like, I was like scared and anxious, like out of my mind. I mean, not so much. I was crying when I got to Toronto, when I got to the hotel. I remember there was a Harvey's restaurant, like, just down, like, half a block away. So I was like, I'm gonna go to Harvey's, because I love Harvey's. And we have, like, no Harvey's out west anymore. So I was like, I'm going to Harvey's. So I went to Harvey's. I got a burger. I was completely set for the night, whatever. And then I was happy. And then the next morning, I can't remember exactly what time, but a cab came to pick me up. Got in the cab. It was like a half hour cab ride, was it not? It was like 20 minutes.
It was a good chunk of, I know it was quite a distance. I don't remember. It felt like it took a while.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly how long it was, but I remember like pulling up to this place, and I was like, I don't know, like, I don't know if this is right. So I remember walking in and I was like, I don't know. And then, someone, the guy, I think it was the guy, he was like, oh, you must be Kelsey. And I was like, yes, I am with the place. And he's like, okay, like, sit down, whatever. So I sat down. And then probably like 10, 15 minutes later, you walked in, and I was like, what's going on? And then, because I guess I thought I was going to be like by myself. I don't know. So
yeah, I think I thought that too.
Yeah, so, and I think someone mentioned that, like, we were gonna be together or something, and I was like, oh, okay, this is awkward. And then we got mic'd up, whatever, and walked into the studio, and I still felt, like, really awkward. And then, what I remember most is that I remember we sat down on the stools, and they were like the producer and stuff. They were like across
so far away.
So far, and then and so they were like, okay, like, so we had a stack of like cards, like recipe cards,
yeah,
with questions on them, and I remember you picked up the card and read the first question. And as soon as you started talking, I think I was like, whoa, like, me too. Like, whenever you were saying, I was like, me, like, I feel the exact same way. And I think that was, and then right away, it was like, I felt like we were like old friends, and we were just kind of talking and bouncing stuff off of each other, and I know that I don't think we agree fully on everything, but just to have like those like ideas or views or whatever that are different, I think that made it more like
it made it more conversational
and believable and real. It made it real. So I think that was, and I know as we go through the topics that we have for this podcast, I don't think we agree on everything. I know we agree on some things, probably most things, but I know that we differ. So I think I'm excited because I think it will be super interesting to see a different point of view. And yeah, so I know that we just immediately had this like connection that I don't normally have with people, and then and I remember they said like, oh, this is the last question, and we were like, oh, oh, this was fun.
Yeah, I wanted to keep going.
Yeah, we wanted to keep going.
Yeah, I was having so much fun with
it. It was fun, yeah, and then we finished and whatever. I think they talked to us for like a few minutes, and then we went back out into like main area, and
Yeah, the lobby or whatever.
yeah, and then I think you asked when I was going, and I was on my way to the sick kids hospital because I was meeting with a doctor who did my surgery like 20, 2 years ago. So I'm gonna go meet up with him and whatever. So I think you said like, why don't we share a cab there and then we can go on separate ways? Like, okay. So we did that, and I remember I think you said like, oh, I'm gonna go get a coffee because there was a Starbucks the hospital, and like, do you want a coffee? And I was like, well, I can't say no for coffee. Like, who says no for coffee? So, and then I remember we sat in the atrium of the sick kids hospital.
Yeah, because you had time to kill before.
Yeah. I have like half an hour to kill. So
yeah, so I was like, well, let's just have a
chill.
coffee.
Yeah.
Just
so we
chill.
sat in the atrium and just like talking for what, half an hour, like, and it was just like so. It just really felt like we were old friends, and I don't connect with people ever like that fast. I don't like talking to people. I don't like meeting people. So like, it was just crazy that we were able to connect and become like instant friends. And that's not something that happens very often for me. So
I feel the same way. It was definitely, I think, once they said cut for the episode and then it was done, we had already kind of forged this weird bond. Nothing like putting two strangers in a room and answer awkward questions about a shared experience that most people don't even understand, I think.
And I think that was it. Like, we really couldn't relate to each other, so it's just the shared experiences, and I think that bonded us. So, and I think we were like the perfect pair to be paired together.
I agree. I think and we in a future episode will go through the questions that were asked in the episode, and we'll kind of not reenact, but we'll go deeper into the answers. So we're not gonna really talk about the questions here, but if you watch the episode, or if you have watched the episode, one, let us know in the comments. We'll love to hear from you. And two, I think you can't tell that we hadn't met before, I think, which is really weird, because I know some of the other people in the episode, and I know that they know each other. And I don't know if somebody watching it for the first time, not knowing either of us, would know that we hadn't known each other. So I think that was really, really, really cool. So,
and I think it was maybe better that we didn't know each other, because I think that made, like, if we had known each other, I feel like maybe we wouldn't have been so like candid, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like when you know someone for a long time, you kind of just go along with what they're saying. I don't know. I just feel like it added something. The fact that we didn't know each other.
I agree.
So
it's a shame that obviously it's an episode. There are more than one set of people talking or answering the same questions, but it would have been cool if they would have just done an episode per person kind of thing, instead of one episode kind of thing, because a lot obviously for time and all that, a lot of it got cut on the editing room floor, so to speak. So a lot of what we had to say, which is why I'm excited to answer the questions again with you, got lost. And a lot of the great things that you had to say and a lot of the great things I had to say just unfortunately didn't make it, which is fair, makes sense. I get TV, it's fine. Did the experience, was it what you expected? And this is a question for you that I'm not sure I know from you. Have you ever been on TV before? And I actually know, I think I know some of that. You have been on local television.
Yeah. I've been on all the news and stuff, but not in a pre-taped TV show. So I mean, to be honest, I didn't really have any expectations because I had no idea what to expect. It definitely was not what I expected, in the fact that I thought I was going to be by myself, and then I learned that I wasn't. And also, I did not expect to make a new friend from this experience. I really, I honestly didn't. So that's honestly one of the best things I think that came out. Yeah, it was cool to be on TV. It was cool to kind of tell my story, but I think that we now have this bond and this lifelong friendship because of the show. And I think that's something that I can take away from the show. So it was unexpected, but so appreciated. So that, I'm really happy with that.
Me too. It was my second filming of a TV show. The first was...
Well, I'm a filming one.
Just drop that. It was my second. And the first one was back in 2013 or 2014. I can't remember. You can't find it anymore, unfortunately.
Oh,
I tried. I don't know if it was on a channel here in Canada that doesn't exist anymore. It was iChannel. And it was a round table with comedians and me. And there was somebody else that was supposed to be there who, I forget, she backed out or she couldn't do it for some reason. So it ended up being me and a bunch of comedians. And we were talking, it was so long ago and so much has happened since then.
Yeah.
It was a pretty heavy topic, and it was, I think about how we use humor to deflect against discrimination or being made fun of or something like that. Because the comedians that were there, I'm still friends with, which was like you said, which is what you were saying is one of those weird fun things that happens when you get into some of these things that you don't expect to happen. And it's an amazing, and I love that byproduct. But yeah, so it was one of the comedians, Cliff. He's a big guy. So his point of view is talking, and he's a stand-up comic, and he talks about how being obese or I hate using the word fat has impacted him in his comedy. Mm-hmm. And then there was another comedian who is Muslim. And he was hilarious. And then me. And me. And it was one of those shows where they shoot B-roll. So where they stop the filming and then they want to shoot from other angles. So they tell you to pretend you're talking or that you're listening. So these comedians just started going off and just being themselves. I'm I got to the point where I was like one of those blooper reels where I would just burst out laughing because I couldn't help it, because I swear they made it their life's mission to make me laugh. And I don't perform. I'm not a comedian. I'm not an artist. Well, I'm a visual artist, but I'm not like, I'm not an actor or anything like that. So I'm an easy target. So it was really fun, and I'm really sad that I don't have the episode, because I would enjoy watching it, because I remember very fondly laughing my patoot off. But yeah, so like having friends from that, I'm friends with both of the comedians, and like coming, so I knew kind of what to expect in terms of filming. It was more low key than the previous experience that I had. The previous experience, there was like hair and makeup, like the whole like the thing that you see on TV. It was that. And like what they tell you, like hurry up and wait kind of thing. That was a lot. It was that. And this experience was a lot more low key, much more natural, and night and day. I kind of liked what we did better, because it was more something I was more passionate about, something I felt more comfortable talking to, because I was just talking about me, my experience, you know, and getting to know you. And I agree. I'm at the beginning. I'm going to admit this, and I apologize. I wanted to be alone. Weirdly, I didn't want to be with somebody else. I didn't want to be with somebody I didn't know. And I'm very glad that I was pushed outside of my comfort zone.
I totally agree.
Very, very glad that you were beside me, and that we got to know each other. And
I agree.
I love that we have a friendship, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast with you. And I think I wanted to talk about like why we wanted to do this podcast. And I think, and we are, we live so far apart from each other, and our ages are different. I'm your older sister.
I wish.
I always wanted younger sister.
Aww.
And so I had approached you to know, because I had this in the back burner. I had a list of episodes that I thought would be interesting. I had approached somebody else who she didn't feel comfortable. Oddly, it was the same person that was in that other show.
Oh.
That was weird. And it was fine. I still love her, and I respect her, and if she ever wants to be a guest, I will gladly have her. And so I had approached her, and it just didn't go anywhere. And that was in like January. And then I just stewed on it, and then it just kind of popped up again in my head. And then I was like, why didn't I think of Kelsey before? I don't know why. Like I think because you had a lot of stuff going on, and you had other things. So I didn't, in January, it just didn't. So, and then I was like, you should have been my first thought to begin with.
Oh, wow.
You were not my second choice. You were my first. Always, I don't know. I think the reason why I approached the other person was because we lived in the same city. So for me, that was I think it was a practicality, because I thought that it would be easier to do it in person. But COVID-19 happened, so we wouldn't have been able to do it anyway.
Exactly. So
I sent you a text message, and I was like, do you want to do a thing? And what does she do? She sends me an email with an outline, because she had the exact same thought.
So I had this exact, it wasn't the exact same idea, but I had an idea for a podcast, like last year, I think it was, and I just I have all these ideas, and I just like I have them, I write them down, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to actually do this, so I just don't do it. So, um, and then so like I had this idea for a while, and then you texted me, and I was like, oh my god. I wanted
Oh,
to do this anyway, so maybe between the two of us, we can figure out how to actually do it. Um, so I think that, and I, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know why I didn't think of doing something with you either. Don't know. But anyway, you were smart and thought of thought of me. So
well, thank you. No, joking.
so and I think that it's such a it's just a topic, not just one topic, but it's a um so it's just something that needs to be talked about more.
Right.
And because I don't really see people with facial differences doing this kind of stuff really. So I think that by us getting out there and sharing our stories and our experiences, I hope that it will touch people and it will educate people and it will just expand their horizons and like and there are people who are not the same as everyone else and like it doesn't mean that you should not respect them or have like prejudice against them um or like misconceptions. You know what I mean? So I think it's important and I think that the topics that the topics that we are going to talk about in the next episodes after this are really something that people need to hear and it needs to be talked about more. So that's why I wanted to do a podcast in the first place. And then this opportunity came up. So I was like, heck yeah, I want to do it. So yeah, I'm really happy and excited that you came to me and asked me to be a part of this because I just
Yeah.
it's something that I'm passionate about, and I think that it's something that needs to be done.
Yeah,
So,
it's one of those things that's you hear it talked about in the disability community a lot. It's nothing about us without us. Representation is an issue in the disability
right,
community, but especially in the subset of facial differences,
right,
because you do see not nearly enough, and it's not what definitely huge barriers, but you do see those with physical disabilities in being included more so. And again, I want to stress this enough, definitely not nearly enough, definitely not to the level that it needs to be.
no,
But you do see actors and actresses and children portraying authentic self. Whereas in the facial difference community, so far, I only know of one, and that's this year, literally 2020, where there is a literal authentic kid that's a literal, real facial difference being included in a production of a show.
um,
Um, and it's I forget what it's. Oh my god, why can't I remember the name of it? Based on a BBC. Shoot. Yeah,
I don't know.
Hold on.
I
I'm gonna find it.
I just want to say I know like this is a topic for another day, but have you seen Wonder? Have you seen Wonder?
I have not seen the movie. I read the book. I have problems with it.
I have. I also have.
Okay.
This is a topic for another day, but
That's definitely going to be something we talk about.
like more in depth. But I just want to say, I love the actor who plays Augie.
Oh, yes. Tremblay.
Jacob Tremblay. He's Canadian. He's
super sweet kid.
super sweet. He's so cute. He is an amazing actor. He was in another movie called Room, and Room was absolutely incredible. He's an amazing actor.
And I know he dived deep into facial difference community, came to so in the States, they have the Children's Craniofacial Association. They have a retreat every year. I know he went and attended and met with a bunch of kids his age and talked about and got some real life experiences. So I don't curmudgeon him at all. I don't, my views and my issues with that movie, he's completely separate out of that. So the show that I was thinking of, I found it. It's called Mallory Towers. I don't know much about it. It's based on a kid's book, and it's a joint BBC Canadian production. So Mallory Towers I would recommend. And again, that's the first instance where they have a child actor with a facial difference who doesn't seem to be like the butt of a joke, doesn't seem to be pitied or anything like that. It seems to be an authentic representation. So very happy to hear that. It is 2020. That's the first time that's happened.
So that's my issue with Wonder is that I love Jacob Tremblay. I think he's amazing. But is there no one else that actually has Teresa Collins, because that's the condition that the kid in Wonder has? Is there no one?
In the book, they don't mention the condition. That's the problem.
They don't?
No. It is. They extrapolated. Yeah, they extrapolated it and assumed that it was Teresa Collins because the author, who I have issues with of the book, didn't bother to do much. Really bothered to do much research. So, but again, that's we will.
We can. This will be a topic that we will talk about.
See, this is what you can look forward to, everybody. We will get into tangents. We will probably get off topic more times than not.
Oh yes.
I'm trying our very best in this one not to, because this is our intro.
Yeah.
So we're dipping our toes in. It's messy. Join us. You're gonna love it. Why don't we talk and finish and wrap up with why we chose the name and how we got there, because that's a story. The name of our channel, the name of our podcast, the name of the whole shebang, Bold-Faced Friends.
It was a process. And
that was a pass.
We just we kind of just jumped into it, and we were like, okay, let's think about this. Like, let's pick a name. And we were texting back and forth for like, I don't know how long.
Hours.
It
was long.
It was a long time. And we were like, oh, what about this? What about this? Oh, I like this. Oh, I can. So it's like, I think we took parts of like a few different ideas and put them together to
It's so collaborative. And I think that's why I'm glad that you and I are doing this, because we may have views that are different and all that fun stuff that will happen.
Yeah.
But I'll choosing a name is probably the hardest thing anybody can do when starting anything.
Yeah.
And it could have ended with us just going, well, we can't even freaking agree on a name. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And it didn't. It was just like, I like that, but this. And then the next person would add on to it, and the next person would be like, I like that, but this. So it just kept snowballing, and it just kept evolving into just we went for like really long titles. We were both like really like specific. It's gotta be like hitting the nail on the head. And then I think we both realized that it doesn't have to. And I think you had started getting us there. I think it was you. And then I think you had mentioned bold something or whatever. And I was like, BFFs. Because I loved the acronym.
Yeah,
I loved like how we can shorten it and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then bold-faced friends, and it just kind of rolled off the tongue. It just kind of like.
And it's exactly, I think, what we are, and like it describes us too, like as friends, whatever. So I think that. Like, yeah, and then the BFF, like, just as soon as you said it, I was like,
that's it.
I think we just found it. So,
and then we did a feverish like Google search to make sure that like BFF. Somebody has got to have made a podcast with those short 3 letters at some point. Nobody had taken it, and I was like,
well, it's
sold.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ours now. So yeah, so we are bold. We are bold-faced, and we are friends. And I think that's the perfect name. And I can't wait to continue this journey with you and our audience. I can't wait till it grows and it's something that we can sustain and it becomes a movement. And it's something that we can continue to do for as long as we can continue to do it.
I hope so, and I think if anyone is going to do this, I think it should be us. Why not us?
Exactly.
Instead of saying like, oh, why me and why us? It's like, why not us? Why not take our message to the masses and to create a movement and to create change and to create
representation. To create representation we want to see.
And I actually posted on Facebook a while ago, and I said representation is everything, and it's true. Representation is everything. So, we just gotta we obviously represent ourselves, but we would like to represent others with facial differences. We obviously can't tell their stories, but we want people, I want people to be able to say like, wow, like look what they are doing. If they can do this, why not me? Why
exactly.
Why can't I do this thing that I want to do? So
they can hear their voice and be like, that's exactly what I've went through, or I can understand that, or, feel validated that they're not alone. And I think a lot of times throughout my 30-odd years, I'm very guilty for not creating opportunities for myself, and more of a, not a woe is me, but more of a like, I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I'm too that, and there's going to be a lot of things that I can't do, but this I can. this is something that I can do and I want to do, and I'm more than happy to do. And I'm very excited. And if you're listening and watching, please forgive us this episode. It's probably rough. I promise you. We will get better. Who knows? 10 years down the road, maybe we react to this first episode and it'll be cringe fest. I will happily do that. Well, I want to thank Kelsey and thank myself and thank everybody else for listening and watching, and please engage with us. Again, our links will be in the description box below if you're watching this on Twitter. If you're listening on Spotify, which I'm going to definitely try to get this on, then please visit our Facebook page at Boldface Friends. Search and you'll find both the page and the group. Let us know that you heard this. Let us know what you think. Let us know what topics you think we should discuss. We have a giant list, but if this keeps going, we're gonna run out. So please let us know what you want to hear about.
Or like any questions or anything, like please comment. Leave your questions in the comments, and we'll get to them down there.
I always wanted to do that.
I know. I see people do it all the time. In the comment box, any questions, comments, topic ideas, anything, like please let us know. And we are so thankful for this opportunity. We are thankful for our audience. We are thankful for just like everyone who has made this happen. And I want to say thank you to Penny for inviting me along on this journey. I am super excited. I'm really excited. So, follow along with us, and it will be fun. It will be a fun little journey that we're gonna find ourselves on.
I couldn't agree more. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.